money's gonna be in there. It might be $25 in there, but it might be $40.
So that's the constraints on the plan. So
Yeah.
you got to be creative with whatever money is in there.
Yeah, like let's to throw out a number. Let's say it's $70 in there, right? Because I know we put dollar bills in there too. It's not just coins. Let's say it was $70. If it was that much, maybe we go to a paint and sip and a nice inexpensive dinner,
Right.
or
you just go get groceries and you cook and make
we could do that. We could go to the movies, and then have something,
just something like Cold Stone or something afterwards.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the idea of us trying to plan it and keep it in those parameters. So I think it'll be kind of fun. But
I think you just like the idea of only spending the money on it in the date budget. That's what I think. You're like,
no, believe it or not,
cheapness. I love it. And the interesting thing, I think, and the thing that I don't know if people talk about it, like there has to be some negotiation with how much stuff I have to just pick up on, and you being willing to have a conversation with me if I'm not picking up on it. Or maybe I do pick up on it, but I don't know what the root problem is. So when I come to you and say, hey, I'm noticing signs that something is wrong, you gotta be either in the mind of, okay, listen, I'm upset, but I want to actually have a reasonable conversation because there's something I want you to do different, or I want you to change, or that I might not need you to change. So I need a little bit to process it, and then I'll come talk to you, or have the conversation.
Hey there, everybody. This is the Pensive Brothers Podcast. This is Aaron.
This is Elliot.
Hope everybody out there is having a nice, fantastical day today.
Fantastical.
So it's almost the season of love, man.
Almost. What you got planned?
Well, Leah and I, so we've got this date night fund thing downstairs that you've seen.
Oh,
it's on the nightstand.
Uh-huh.
So basically, we're gonna kind of figure out how much money is in it.
Uh-huh.
Then we're gonna go on a date night with only that amount of money, and so I think I want to kind of chronicle it, make a little video out of it.
Look at the discipline.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that, and then I don't know how much money is gonna be in there. It might be $25 in there, but it might be $40.
So that's the constraints on the plan. So you got to be creative with whatever money is in there.
Yeah, let's to throw out a number. Let's say it's $70 in there, right? Because I know we put dollar bills in there too. It's not just coins. Let's say it was $70. If it was that much, maybe we go to a paint and sip and a nice inexpensive dinner,
right?
Or
you just go get groceries and you cook and make
we could do that. We could go to the movies, and then have something,
just something like Cold Stone or something afterwards.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the idea of us trying to plan it and keep it in those parameters. So I think it'll be kind of fun. But
I think you just like the idea of only spending the money on it in the date budget. That's what I think. You're like,
no, believe it or not,
cheapness.
Believe it or not, this time it wasn't my idea. One thing is, I'm pretty frugal for the most part, but when it comes to Julia, I'm not. I
feel that.
I try my best to not be cheap about my wife, but I'll be cheap about myself. Whatever, I don't need that.
Right? Yeah. I mean, and it's kind of funny.
Cheap, all this work I'm doing.
Now
I feel you. All you guys out there that have been doing your yards all these years, I feel your pain, bro. It's rough. So.
Yeah. Listen, I don't mess around with yard stuff. I just don't. I'm not one of those guys, at least not yet, who's like, oh, I gotta fix my yard. I gotta make it nice.
This is your year, bro.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, you never know.
Because I told you, we getting the patio built. Right, that's almost done, as you saw.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna do. I got a yard guy's gonna come out and kind of clean all the gumballs and leaves up. And then I'm gonna do my flower beds again.
That's right.
Remember, she was growing cabbage and everything else back there, bell peppers and
and she had it kind of died a little bit, so she got to start it over.
Yeah, now it's cold and that kind of ruins it.
That's kind of what. Hey, but listen, Granddad used to do that every year, right?
Yeah,
he used to go out there every year, turn his dirt over, start in my garden, and after a couple of years of growing in the same spot. It'll grow up, because then the ground is real fertile and whatnot.
And I put on getting her a little fence and everything, making it look nice and pretty.
Making it nice. So that's super nice.
What are you guys doing for Valentine's Day?
Well, I already told Justice I was gonna take her out to a real nice steak dinner. So, because normally when we have steak, we just make steak because we have a preferred way. And by we, I mean she has a preferred way.
We were supposed to have a steak off at some point. I marinated some steaks earlier for tomorrow. We're having steaks tomorrow.
Oh, see, we do need to still do that actually, because you won't win. I'm just telling you now.
Nah.
Just the steak seasoning. Top tier. Can't be beat. Guaranteed.
Are you challenging me to a Brewster's Millions of Steaks? I have no idea what that means.
Oh, okay, all right. Because I was like,
Brewster's Millions is a hilarious movie with Eddie Murphy, but I don't know how to.
Brewster's Millions?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah,
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Brewster's Millions. Yeah,
you gonna have to send me a link because I don't know.
It's a really funny movie. Basically, like Eddie Murphy, there's some eccentric billionaire that's like, "Hey, I'm dying, so you can have like $1 million now, or if you can spend like $10 million, you get all of the billions." But if you want to just take the fast money, you could just have the $1 million.
And so he
then
starts trying to spend the money.
Spend all of this 10 million or however much it was, right? He tries to spend all the money, but then he ends up keep making money on accident. So it's like he's trying to spend the money, and
he can't get under the number he's supposed to be spending.
A company or something, and then the company ends up like turning a ridiculous profit.
And he's like, "What are you doing?"
Something like that. So it's a really funny movie. I watched it with mom or something like a long time.
I'm gonna have to go look this movie up. This sounds like exactly the sort of movie I want to watch.
Yeah, no, it's actually pretty. I might watch it tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, so, I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know about tonight, but I'm gonna have to look that up.
So steak dinner.
Yeah, steak dinner. I ain't gonna say. You know.
Okay.
I ain't trying to have nobody run my pockets too early, but yeah, I'm gonna take it to a nice steak dinner, and then I'm gonna probably take it.
Preferred sides with your steak. What do you go?
Usually, I'm like unnecessarily basic. I like fries, maybe broccoli. But if we're at home, I want rice and broccoli every time, or rice and asparagus, or
I'm
potatoes.
more of a mashed potato guy. Yeah. Like the problem that I'm having now is I wanted to make barbecue chicken at night.
Yeah.
And barbecue, it's just a thing with me. Anytime that I'm eating barbecue sauce, I automatically want macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes together. I don't know why, but it's just like I just
gotta have that double starch, huh?
Yes. I'm not kidding.
Listen.
So like the real we're having steak tomorrow. Right. So I don't want to make mashed potatoes today
and then have mashed
potatoes tomorrow. So like I'm like, oh, maybe we can have some yellow rice, but it just doesn't sit right in my soul.
So not your soul.
Yes, I'm not kidding.
Listen,
I'm serious. It's a real dilemma.
You got to fight that thing, bro. You don't need both them starches. You don't want both them starches. But yeah, so that's pretty much the plan. And I'll probably like take her somewhere nice. Like, you know, either I'll take her to a bookstore and we'll get some books. Or something like that. I don't know why you laughing.
That's because that's so y'all, and I love that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, she loves to read. I like to read.
I'll probably take, if I can squeeze it into the budget, but if not, I'll probably just take her to the Sweet Spot anyway.
Hey,
I told you about that. Right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Sweet Spot, it's nice.
Have you been?
I feel like I have, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a different place.
It's the place that makes those like fancy ice creams.
No, I haven't been there. I went to the custard
on the
place.
Rim of the jar. You can actually bring the jar back for like 5%.
Oh yeah.
It's
I don't
really
know.
Nice.
Maybe we've been there. I'll have to ask Justice because I don't remember.
We should go together.
We should go together. We'll have to make that a double date. But yeah, man. No, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm really excited because my wife does help me like a lot. She has been helping me with some of the editing. She's been like helping me kind of stay on task with some of the stuff I'm trying to get accomplished. Like it's been really cool. And I was telling somebody at work today, you know, we go out, we spend money or whatever, but my wife understands like kind of before we get in there, because you know the guy was just telling me, oh yeah, sometimes we go out and you know she ordered this and then she ordered that and she don't really eat it, so we didn't end up spending all this money, yada yada.
Waste,
yeah. And not even like trying to bash his wife or anything, just like, oh man, this is just like a thing that we had happen this one time and it's crazy. And I was like, oh. No, I mean that used to happen, but we kind of worked that out.
Yeah.
And thinking about how long I've been with my lady, like we've been together basically since high school. So we've had time to work out all of the, you know, kind of stuff you don't talk about, but then you run your face into kind of problems. You know, how much money is reasonable to spend in a restaurant? You know, how if we have an issue and we're in public, like how do we navigate that? If, you know, we're both upset, but we still got to go to a family function, what does that look like? We've managed to iron out a lot of those details, but I'm still finding, you know, every week I find a new like reason that I love my wife. Like there's just something else she does.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh.
Our family literally gets annoyed with me sometimes because I love my wife so much. Sometimes, you know, and it's so funny. So, like, when you talk about some of those things, those are the same conversations we have, right? So sometimes I'll ask her, like, you know, are you comfortable with the way that we do things? Or, like, are we on the same page? You know, because obviously when you come into a relationship, both people have different life experiences and different thought processes, right?
Yeah.
But I think the good thing that you and I have managed to do is find a partner that we both have, like, it was an easy lift for
Yeah.
us.
And
So
like
we are
your pieces
already close to the same page.
and your pieces like fit. So
Yeah.
like the strengths and weaknesses that y'all have are very complementary, and y'all don't
Yeah.
have a whole bunch of like, oh well, she don't want to clean and I don't want to clean, and she don't want to cook and I don't want to cook type clashes. Like y'all
Yeah.
are able to find, and me and Justice have the same thing. We're able to just kind of find, all right, well, I don't really want to do this part. You want to do that part? Yeah, I'll do that. I don't mind. And then we can kind of just navigate a lot of this stuff. And that don't make it, that don't make it easy or instant or any of that stuff. Because there's still some stuff where you still got to have a conversation about, okay, this is how I feel about this, or this is how I see this. How do you see this? And like the biggest thing for me, and the ongoing conversation we always have is, hey, communication is really important.
Yeah.
I want not only for us to be able to talk, but like I want to know if there's a problem that I'm not going to be the last person to find out. Because I do, one of my fears is like, I'm going to think everything is cool. I'm, going to work. We're doing this. We're going out, yada, yada.
Mhm.
And then I'm just going up and find out, oh, I've missed all of these signs and my wife has been, unhappy or distressed or whatever.
Yeah, man.
For,
So,
months or years or whatever.
yeah. Being able to see that
Yeah.
is such an important part of the marriage process, because I think a lot of times, and this is just my personal experience or my personal opinion,
Right.
but a lot of times I think with women, they kind of want us to see it,
Not kind of.
Yeah, it's not like Khalid's not always just gonna come to me and say,
Yeah.
Aaron, I didn't like the way that you said that, or I didn't like the way that you did that, or I didn't like that you didn't do that.
Yeah.
Like
because
a lot of times she'll get frustrated, and in the moment you can kind of see it if you're paying attention to
if you're paying attention.
And
well,
like as we continue on this marriage over years to come, I feel like I'm beginning to get better at that. I'm not perfect, but I like that's something you learn, right?
Well, and the interesting thing, I think, and the thing that I don't know if people talk about it, like there has to be some negotiation with how much stuff I have to just pick up on, and you being willing to have a conversation with me if I'm not picking up on it. Or maybe I do pick up on it, but I don't know what the root problem is. So when I come to you and say, hey, I'm noticing signs that something is wrong, you gotta be either in the mind of, okay, listen, I'm upset, but I want to actually have a reasonable conversation because there's something I want you to do different, or I want you to change, or that I might not need you to change. So I need a little bit to process it, and then I'll come talk to you, or have the conversation. Because I think, what happened when I was young and when Justice was young is I would get mad or she would get mad. And then it's just like, no, I'm fine. No, we don't got to talk about it. Because you either,
and that's
I know
the worst
you
way to kind of handle.
There's something about when something is annoying to you that makes your brain stop functioning logically. And like, I know everybody likes to make it like a woman problem, and I think it's more of like socially, I feel like we kind of train women more in this direction where, oh no, he's just supposed to figure it out. And it gets reinforced a lot in like romantic movies and in like how we see people interact on TV and stuff like that.
Culture.
Yeah. Where, the man is just supposed to know everything that's going on. He's supposed to be like a 500 IQ, like Yagami, who's going to be able to mind read you into oblivion. But like, I'm human and you're human. So we got to be able to have like conversations back and forth. If you're upset with me, you have to trust me enough to believe that I don't want you to be upset with me. And if you want something to change, I'm willing to at least try or make a good faith effort to make an adjustment.
And how hilarious is it? Because I feel like men are like super simple for the most part. Like, we got
specific things
about ourselves. Yeah. But men want a very small number of things from their wives.
Usually. Yeah.
Okay.
Because some men are crazy.
But imagine the fact that the simpler creature is the one that's expected to be able to read your mind.
Bro.
Like, we're so backwards.
It's actually kind of hilarious. So, I be on the internet. I be, all in all the videos. And it's really interesting to hear like the problems that people who have been like trying to navigate the current dating environment go through.
You hear them and you're like, man, I didn't have that.
I don't know what that would be like.
And even a little more intimate than that, like I have friends and I know people that deal with stuff that, like, for example, well, I'm not even gonna go there. I know people that deal with certain things that never in a million years could you imagine. And I'm not saying, I wouldn't put up with that. No, I'm not even going that far.
It's more like, man,
I could not imagine in the relationship that I'm in that
being
will
a
just
reality.
ever happening.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I talk to some of my other friends, about like whatever problems some people have in their lives and stuff. I always say like it's important to kind of draw a line in the sand on certain things, right?
Right.
Everyone has non-negotiables, and
And
if
you
you
gotta
have
have
a non-negotiable,
it's gotta be
first of all, it's got to be realistic.
Yeah. And it's gotta actually be non-negotiable.
And because if your non-negotiable is I'm not gonna let a man put his hands on me, and then he punches you in the face,
you gotta leave.
Either it's non-negotiable or it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like
it's so funny you say that. So one of the things that I hear a lot of conversation around is there's this thing where I guess women are raised to not be good at enforcing their boundaries, which is very interesting as a black man, because I think in our community we have almost the exact opposite problem, where a lot of I feel like black women are taught to enforce many arbitrary boundaries almost to the extreme.
Yeah, because for so long,
like people were just stepping over their boundaries. Yes, exactly.
Touching their hair, the things that
treating
happen
them
to
like,
them,
and slavery and in Jim Crow even.
Yeah.
So like, but there is still a thing there, because even like the most like gruff, angry black woman, like if you get her around the right dude, she gonna be just as soft, and she gonna have the exact same problem. She gonna find a guy, and that guy is gonna be like, oh nah, I won't do that, and then he's gonna step over this line. He's gonna be like, okay, well he only stepped over the one line, it's not that big a deal, and then he's gonna step over another one and another one, and next thing you know, you're pregnant and single, and it's a big problem. So like, I think there are lots of women.
Hey.
I mean, but that's how I genuinely think that's how a lot of people find themselves in these situations, and it happens with dudes too. I think it's just more subtle because women tend to like they can get your head real turned around in a different kind of way when you're a dude. Yeah. But it's really interesting that a lot of women genuinely have just issues being able to like really enforce, hey, no, I'm not comfortable with this, so we just gonna part ways right here. And I've heard the arguments of
it's easier said than done to part ways.
100%.
A lot of times that's really what the problem is.
Especially if you got a lot of time invested.
And I hate to go religious on us.
Oh, snap.
Like sometimes when I think back to Dad talking to me about getting married before we got married, and it was like, a lot of the problems that you'll have are because you're playing house. You're not doing it in the order that God has. And so like when you say, oh, you should part ways in that scenario.
Yeah.
A lot of times we get out of order, and now, okay, we living together. You're on my taxes, or you're on my insurance, and all these other things are become intertwined. Now we have children, etc.
I'm gonna be honest.
I think it makes it harder to just say, okay, I'm gonna leave.
That's a hard.
You're not married.
That's a hard one for me. That's a hard one. So I understand why our elders in our life are really,
wherever you're going, I'm following you.
Okay,
I agree with you.
Like I understand why they're really, don't shack up, don't live together before you marry, etc., etc. I just, the environment and the economy and like the way how much the wrong partner can ruin your life if you marry the wrong person.
And how much we have watched our own elders
like marry the wrong person, and then it like, disrupt everything they thought they had going on, or everything they had planned for themselves for the future. I really struggle with whether or not that is good advice. I think maybe it's not.
Technically, it's in the Bible, so.
Yes,
like I hear what you're saying, because I said I wasn't gonna get married before I lived with her.
No, and I said the same thing, but there's some, and there's probably like some navigation, right? Like it's probably not wrong advice. It's probably just incomplete in some way. So maybe there's hey, you guys need to figure out a living situation where you're not, maybe, you're not having a physical relationship early on, but even that, because it's so important, like that you have physical compatibility. I don't know. And it's one of those things I at the end of the day, everybody's going to kind of have their own opinion about it. And I understand why people feel the way they feel. And I do think, just hearing from people who did wait until marriage, like there is something particularly special when both of you wait and then you're like trying to figure that out together. And kind of navigating that together. I do think there's something to be said about that. But, it's some problems, like when you find out after you done already said the I do's.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't
imagine.
So we're going to veer back towards the love piece. Right?
I know, right? Before we get all doom and gloom.
Right. Because I'm going to be honest. Being married has been the best I don't even want to call it investment, decision.
Yeah,
Like just
it's
because it
greatest
is an
adventure.
investment though, because you're investing not just yourself, but you're investing into someone else, right? And
You're investing into the team.
yeah, and like the reason why I love being married so much
Mm-hmm.
is because, like you said, the team, right?
Yeah.
Like everything Halia and I do is a team effort, and so I never feel like I'm alone in those efforts. And I think that for people out there, Halia and I sit and we kind of laugh about it sometimes. But I always say, like, I really genuinely hope that other people one day find
The kind of love and the kind
the
of
kind of love
companionship.
and that like
Yeah.
that not that ability that I don't have to like wonder, does she love me? Is she
Yeah.
cheating on me?
You
Are
don't
we
have
doing
to.
this? Are we
Yeah.
like the level of comfort that I think your marriage is supposed to happen? I've told you before about that tweet that she retweeted that said normalize being nice to the person you married.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Like,
Leah and I sit and we just watch people and we talk about this. It's like, man, there are a lot of people that are married, and the old tropes, the
yeah,
cartoons,
and
the TV shows,
they
they hate
snipe at
each
each
other.
other. Yeah.
And
And it's
I
kind
don't
of
know what that's like.
listen, it's kind of funny because like me and Justice had that conversation early on. I was like, listen, if me and you are together, me and you are a team.
Yeah.
So you can't go on Facebook and just be posting stuff about me. You can't do that. If you got an issue with me, you come talk to me. It stays between me and you because we are a team.
A
And
united front.
listen, you making a team look weak. So now anybody out there sees you post something like that. That's when dudes start sliding into your DMs when you don't want them to. That's when people start, yakking in the background. And now everybody thinks there's trouble in paradise and people are thinking we're breaking up. And it's going to give you all of this weird energy. All of your friends, all of your family, they're going to be giving me weird energy or you weird energy. The very next time you try to solicit some kind of advice because you're going through, they're going to just tell you, oh, you got to bounce. So you don't want to put that stuff out there.
Yeah, and vice versa though, as far as like when you say trouble in paradise, because marriage isn't really always paradise, right?
It's not.
So you don't want to paint the veneer of perfection.
True.
Because then I think
it's
that's
just
like a target, right?
But it's such a like you got to tread lightly on it because you're right. You don't want to have this like veneer of we're a perfect couple and we love each other all the time.
We need to be like us. It's like no, you need to be like I think. But yes, we're married. What all the other stuff keep it.
Yes, but what I want everyone outside of our relationship to know and understand is me and you are a team first and foremost.
You can't get between that.
Like there is no other like message that we want to put out unless we don't want to be a team. In which case, okay, we got to figure out how we're navigating that. But like I told her before I ever proposed, years and years and years before I proposed, listen, I'm doing this one time and one time only. So you got to know. Once I ask and you say yes, I mean what I say. Yeah. I'm not like
we have to say. All right, so that okay, this is where we're going to try to end this out.
Okay.
So how did you propose to her?
All right, so
paint the picture for me, bro.
Okay, here's the problem. All right. I had a whole plan. All right. So my plan involved us going, I can't even remember now. I was so nervous. I kind of just I blanked out on half the night. I think we were in DC, if I remember correctly. Okay. The plan was we was going to go to some parties and then we was going to go out to dinner and then we was going and I got a really nice hotel room. It had a bathtub and all this other stuff.
It had a bathtub?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a really nice hotel in DC.
With a bathtub.
No. Okay. You're a jerk and an idiot. No, it was not just.
You said we had a really nice hotel that had a bathtub. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're right. I probably should be more specific. It had a jacuzzi in the room. Yeah. And it was it was a big one. There was a view out, a big window right in front of the jacuzzi. It had a huge bed. It was a huge room. It was really nice. And I got it kind of on the cheap. Listen, it was nice. Now it's $1,000 a night right now.
Mind.
Yeah. I'm just telling you. When I got it, it was $300 a night. So
right.
Listen, I got it on super sale. But we went and all the places we were supposed to go was either packed and won't let nobody in or they were closed already. So we went to place after place after place. And then the place that I got the reservation for dinner, we got there and they were like, oh, we're sorry. It's going to be a 3-hour wait. So we didn't end up eating there. So I think we went and got Chinese food or something. And I ended up just proposing in the room, being like, hey, listen, I love you. And even though nothing, went exactly right tonight, I just want you to know I want to do, this or anything else you want to for the rest of our lives together, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, I was so surprised. I thought you was going to do this. And then Like you didn't do it like while we were out, and now you're asking. But yeah, and you know,
it worked out.
Yeah, but
Man.
you know, it was kind of. It's always one of those things, and I don't know if you had this experience too, like when you got ready to propose. But it's kind of like you're doing so much moving and prepping in the background to like get everything lined up.
That nothing's gonna go perfect.
Well, not only that, she kind of knows that it's coming because obviously
Haley had no idea.
Oh, for real?
Wait till I get to mine.
Oh, okay, but yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So of course she said yes, and then you know we had the wedding and all that stuff, and it was really nice. I was super nervous though, and I don't even know why.
I remember you were super nervous at yours.
It was like for no reason. It's just I guess I get crunch time pressure. I get the same thing when I try to audition for stuff. So.
I know because you was making me nervous, and I was fine, and I wasn't even getting married. I don't know what I was nervous
right?
about.
You had
you started hyperventilating a little bit,
bro. I was freaking out. Okay, I don't even know why.
Yeah,
for no reason. Because at this point I think I had been with that girl for like 9 years, 8 years,
or 9.
Yeah. So it won't like you know I didn't expect anything other than a yes, but I was still nervous. I wanted it to go right, and it did basically because we ended up getting married.
I loved it basically.
Yeah, you know, it did. It worked out. That's my so that's my proposal story. How did yours go?
All right. So I proposed to her on a weekend, and Halia had made it very clear to me: do not propose to me in front of other people. Very clear.
We had that conversation.
Yeah, and so that particular year, her mom had a birthday party for her, and so my plan was I was going to propose to her at the party,
and she was like, "Nah."
But like you know how you like kind of hit her off a little bit with. What do you think about that?
How do you feel about that?
I remember I showed her a video of a public proposal. You know, everybody was so happy, blah, blah, blah. She's like, do not do that. And I was like, oh, she was very serious. Okay.
Like, not, like, no she problem. Might say no.
Like, no, right. No, she was serious. So, okay.
Hey, when she tell you, you better listen.
Right. So, this particular day, we were off. So, that's how I know it was a weekend, I think. And, I remember I had gave her cash or gave her my card or something. I gave her money. It was like, hey, you know, I want you to go to the salon, get your nails done, get your feet done, get your eyebrows done. You know, I'll catch you later. And she's all super excited. I need her out of the way.
Yeah, right.
So she leaves, you know, and I kind of cleaned up the house. I made everything nice and clean. Right. I had put out some candles. And she just thought I was just trying to be romantic or whatever. So, you know, because like I asked her later, I was like, did you notice this happened? She's like, no, I didn't. So what happened was I started cooking. Like one thing we actually like, and I know this is super country, but we really like turkey necks. Okay. So I went to the farmer's market. I bought the good turkey neck, not the ones you get at Walmart.
No, ones with the extra meat. Yeah. Yes.
And I seasoned them up all good. Yeah, right. Big pause on that. Season them up. Put them in the oven to bake. You know, when you make turkey necks, you gotta bake them for at least like 4 hours.
You gotta cook it all the way down to the bone.
Yeah. So while she was gone, they had been in the oven for hours.
Yeah.
All right. So I found a movie for us to watch. It was this movie that she wanted to. She had been begging me to take it to the theater. I didn't.
You was like, I'm not spending theater money on that.
Yeah, like it was that Taraji P Henson movie where like I think it was Idris Elba was like breaking into the house or something.
Breaking into the house.
Yeah, like she had her kids in there, and he like was stalking her. Oh!
I know exactly which one you're talking about because it was like the daughter or something of somebody. He was trying to steal something from the house.
Yeah, stalking her friend or something.
I don't remember the plot, but I know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I cooked the turkey necks, right? Had the ring. So, before this, like a week before, 2 weeks before, I invited her dad to come talk to me. He came over. You know, we sat and we had a really good conversation. You know, and he told me, you know, at the end of the conversation, he's like, well, I'll give you my blessing. Go ahead. You know, you can marry my daughter. And, you know, I just told him, you know, I want you to know I will take care of her until my last breath. And I mean what I say. Like, I mean it.
I know you did.
And
No Good Deed is the name of that movie.
Yes. And so after that, you know, I cooked the turkey necks. She comes back from the salon kind of late. Good. So that gave me enough time to get the house clean,
to get everything straight.
Clean up the bedroom, the living room, the kitchen, everything was straight. Even the food was cooked, and I had kind of cleaned up the kitchen, and so I could prep the stuff. So she's like, "Oh, candles." But you know, my wife. Like, my wife, like, she was like, it's just so sweet to me all the time. So, you know, I had bought some wine. Like, you know, so we sitting there eating turkey necks with wine.
Straight country fancy right there.
Big time. So we eat the turkey necks. We finished the movie, and I was like, hey, you know, I was thinking we could just kind of sit on the couch instead of going to the bedroom and like laying down, going to sleep or whatever. Like, let's hang out for a while. Because usually after dinner, that's about it for the day. Like, we'll go to the room, we'll watch a movie. go to sleep, whatever.
Z's
But,
time.
so she's like, okay. And I said, yeah, I got to grab something out the bedroom right quick. It was the ring.
Right.
And so I go back to the room. You want to talk about nervous?
You couldn't find the ring?
No. The
Oh,
ring was
okay.
back there. I had it in my so I have a big, thick pair of gloves that I use in the winter. So I put the ring inside of the roll of the gloves.
Because there was never a reason for her to go in there.
Yeah, and it was inside of my sock drawer or something.
Yeah.
And so I go in there, I get the ring out. You know, she's still sitting on the couch, and my wife, hey, are you coming back out here?
What you doing? Why you taking so long?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm coming. Hold on. So I'm like pacing the room.
Just trying to get your mind right. Figuring out what you gonna say.
And then I start like shadow boxing a little bit. But come on, man, you got this. Come on. And then I go.
You gotta give yourself a pep talk. Yeah.
And I stop. I can't do this. And I just turned around and walked back in the bedroom.
No, you didn't.
And I said, Aaron. And I saw myself in the mirror. I caught my eye. I was like, get out there. And so then I was like, all right, you got this. So
you did give yourself a movie pep talk.
I really did. I like, seriously, I was back there like, you got this. You got this. So then I go back out to the living room.
Oh, my God.
I sit down on the couch and I'm like, hey, what's up? We start talking or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Did you say, hey, what's up when you got back to the couch?
I did. I probably did.
I'm
pretty sure that I did. And I'm like, what
you were so nervous.
I was like, what you think about us being together forever? And she's like, of course we're going to be together forever.
Like, it's a foregone conclusion. Yeah. What you thought?
And, so I start talking to her just like, man, I really love you. And she's like, yeah, I love you too, man. Not paying me no mind.
Not thinking about you. She like, I'm trying to watch this movie. You made me wait for months.
I start my little speech and I'm just like, you and I have been together for a while, and you've held me down through school. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're both back in school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were in a position where, we're getting older. Like, we're growing together. We're learning together.
Mm-hmm.
I just could not imagine my life without you. And then that's when I got down on my knee and I just was like, will you marry me? And it was like a dramatic pause.
Of course. She had to let the moment saturate.
And she just kind of sat there. And then she bust out crying.
And you're like, what's going on?
I'm like, is that a yes? And like, of course it's a yes. And then she like hugged me like so hard. I was like, you're choking me.
Like, but
Elliot, for like 15 seconds, it was a mess. Things were going horribly.
Because you were like, oh no.
Because between the tears and me being choked out, I was like,
I don't know what's happening. This is not how I saw this going.
I did not stand over that stove for 2 hours.
Nah, you're so ridiculous. Oh my God.
But no. But no, so she was super excited. And,
that's how that went.
Even funnier story. So Halia swore up and down her ring size. She kept telling me, oh yeah, my ring size is this. Because I bought her a promise ring before that. Ring was too small. So we didn't tell anyone. So basically, I took the ring back, got the ring resized, right? Then resized it so she was fine. Everything was good. So she and I agreed that we wouldn't tell anyone until we get the ring resized, so she can wear the ring when she tells people. And it only took 2 days, so it was quick.
Because they just gotta basically cut the band and then solder it back together.
I want to say that was a Friday night, I think, and maybe a Saturday. But
I feel like I remember this because you were super stressed out about getting this ring resized. I remember.
Yeah.
This.
Well, no. I think you're thinking about the new one I bought for the wedding.
Oh,
because that's
maybe
the one.
you're right.
I remember we were going on the trip.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So,
That is the one I'm thinking of.
So we got the ring resized, and then basically we told her mom first, and bro, her mom was giggling. She was so excited.
She couldn't contain it, huh?
Yeah, but no. So that's basically what happened. And the COVID ruined the wedding date.
Yeah,
the next wedding date.
Yeah.
But then, honestly, everything turned out good. The wedding ended up being huge. It was awesome.
It was amazing.
It was beautiful.
Your wedding was beautiful, bro.
Yeah. I mean, so was yours.
Listen, I got to say, I thank God to this day. Did I ever tell you that the ceiling caved in immediately after we left the church?
What?
At the church.
No, I didn't
So
know
you remember they were having that water issue where one of the pipes was leaking, and they already had one of the ceiling things fall down because there was water in it. Well, after we all left and went to the reception, the ceiling fell in over the front door. No, like
it just caved in.
Like it just like all of the, I don't know what you call it, like the drywall panels or whatever, they had been wet and they fell. And I mean, it was like 4 or 5 of them that it fell, and it was like scattered across the entranceway, bro. if that thing had fallen at any time before or after we had left, my wife would never have forgiven me. Okay,
Forgiving you? You didn't do it.
listen, it doesn't matter.
Well,
The point is,
married there or something?
no, not really. Like in her mind, she was like, "Oh, I really want to get married at like the venue or whatever." And I was like, "Listen, that venue, because you remember where we had our reception,
Yeah,
it was not really a good place for us to have like the wedding.
Yeah, no.
And we would have either had to rent out another part of the venue, which would have been like another $6,000, or we would have had to try and squeeze everything into like the section we were in doing the reception. And I didn't want to do either of those. I
tell everyone, if you are comfortable with getting married in church, the church wedding is the way to go.
It really is.
You don't have to do the reception at the church.
You don't, right? We didn't either.
But first of all, churches are cheaper.
Yeah.
Second of all, churches already have the facilities for a wedding. They have the chairs. They have the stage. A lot of churches already have like the pastor that can marry, like all those different things.
There's a lot of stuff that comes with doing the wedding at a church.
But if you just go to a rando building that's empty, you got to bring everything. You know,
and you got to set it up. And you got to break it down.
Yeah,
it ends up being a lot more. But listen, I came back after the reception and I walked in and I looked down and I look up. And I just see the hole and all the stuff that fell down right where Justice would have walked by. And I just, right there, I was like, thank you, Jesus. Oh, my God.
That's crazy.
Like, it had to happen.
The wedding
it was fine. It was fine all the way till we left. Because me and Justice, I think we were either the last people to leave or we were like close to the last people to leave.
So let's take 2 seconds the church and just discuss all the things that actually went wrong. So just 2 seconds. So,
oh, boy.
Okay.
At your wedding or at mine?
At both. Okay. So I remember at my wedding.
Or
actually, do you remember the things that went wrong at my wedding?
Not really. Some of them, but not really.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk about yours, and I'll tell them. So one thing. Let's do one thing at a time.
Okay.
Khalil's pants were too small.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So yes, I do remember that.
One of the ushers at my wedding, and his pants were so short. I don't know what, there was some type of snafu with the clothes, and Tony's pants were too small, like it was the wrong pair of pants or something, and they ended up, he had to go buy a pair of pants. Uncle Derek gave him some money to go to the store
and get pants. I remember that.
Yeah,
oh my
Tony
God.
had to go to a seamstress the morning
to go get his pants resized. It was a whole, I do remember that.
Yeah.
At our wedding, one of the big things that was a problem was like the morning of, like the stuff was not set up at the reception hall.
Yeah.
For any of the food and for any of the like DJ stuff. So like Justice is freaking out because she's getting dressed at the reception hall and people were supposed to be there setting up early.
And
nobody showed up till like 9. And of course our wedding started at
morning wedding.
Yes. So our wedding was supposed to start at like 10 and be over. Listen.
Mad late.
Listen. And I'm glad we had a morning wedding because I'm glad it basically was over by 2. Like I couldn't do much more. Like
ours was basically all day.
Yeah, y'all's was an all day event, and like
the wedding wasn't all day, but for us, we were there all day.
Yeah, and one of the things like that I love about my wife, and we can kind of close out on this, right?
Okay.
One of the like super special things about my wife is like we are very complementary in that we both kind of have social batteries that are about the same amount. So like when I'm kind of like, all right, I'm tired of being around people, I'm ready to go home. She's almost always, all right, I'm kind of tired of being around people, I'm ready to go home.
You have like, a social cap.
Yes.
That's what I always say with you.
Yes, social I really cap. Do. I really do. And it's one of those things where like if you're not that sort of person and you don't like you thrive in environments where there's like lots of people and you can kind of hang out and enjoy like not random as in you don't know them, but just like people outside of whoever your one or two like special people are, where you're like, okay, I've been outside of my house, I've been outside of my comfortable environment for a long time, I'm kind of ready to go home. Like if you got somebody who's like, nah, I want to hang out another 2-3 hours, like that don't work.
Man, that's what I love about my wife, man. Because our social cap is the exact same number.
That's a recipe. That's a recipe for success right
is
there.
On the cruise ship. On the cruise ship, when I'm ready to go to the room,
she's ready to go.
I don't have Halia like, but I want to go to the club over there. I want to go to the bingo. No, Halia's like, no, I'm happy you said it because I'm ready to go.
Listen.
And then also, to be honest with you though, one thing that I'll give Halia is Halia will keep me up when I need to stay up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm kind of being a party pooper and I'm ready to lay down. And she's like, come on, Aaron. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
that'll keep me up and I'll like not miss stuff. So, no, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Like having that equal, like,
a complimentary like social
yes,
like an
social cap.
yeah,
If it matches, you don't be a homebody and then go try to marry a hot girl. Okay,
bro, don't do it
because she's going on a trip with her girls to Miami, and you're going to be paranoid. Okay,
it's gonna mess your whole mental up. I'm trying to tell you.
Or don't be a hot girl and then go try to marry you somebody that wants to just go home.
Right.
And
listen,
and,
if you're a homebody and you're like not jealous, right? And you're trusting and you can find you somebody who's worthy of that trust and like y'all can negotiate that, that's cool. But like blueprint that I know a whole lot of like socially, maybe inept is probably the wrong word, but just like socially reclusive type people who might gel with what I'm saying. Find you some of these women who enjoy just sitting down and reading books at home. Okay, they're out there. They probably in a library or on Barnes & Noble right now. Go find you one. They out there. Go get one. Go get you one.
You can go find you one where you guys enjoy something that's not just sitting around looking at a book.
I mean, they out there
I did
too.
my fair share of reading in my life, so do not get me wrong.
Hey, listen.
But Halia and I do not bond over reading. Halia reads more than I do. I read a lot of articles, though. I read a lot of news. But Halia reads books, like novels
Justice
and stuff.
reads more than me, too.
Yeah. And so, like, but we bond over, like, vacationing. We bond over certain cinema, like, movies and stuff like that. And then, obviously, we really do bond over church, too.
Yeah.
So, like, you
got to find you.
Each his own, right?
Yep, that's right. And you just got to find
love your woman. Take them somewhere for Valentine's Day.
Please.
Love your man. Don't get him socks. And then you expect him to buy you something like a heart-shaped Gucci purse.
Listen, because if we both getting cheapy gifts, if I'm getting you t-shirts for bed and you get me socks, that's cool. But like, if you want something extravagant, you should be expecting to bring something extravagant.
I know. Who did talk about soon? Did you buy me a ring? Because I said, you remember I told you I bought myself another little golden.
And she was like,
ring.
"Oh, you ain't get me one."
She's like, "You got me a ring." I said, "Oh my, the ring is coming." I bought a little cheap, $20.
Yeah.
It's another wedding band,
right?
And she's like, I said, "My ring is coming," and she was like, "Oh, you got me another." I was like, "Woman,
I certainly did not."
Play with me,
right?
You know that I just bought her another ring.
Like, yeah.
So
she was like, "Oh, you got me another one?"
I was like, "Ma'am, you were going to be held over for a couple of years."
Right. Yeah. No, you're good. You are good. You're good. But anyway, listen, man, this has been the Pencil Brothers Podcast, Valentine's Day edition. I love my wife.
I love my wife more than anything in this world. Love you, baby.
I'm Elliot.
This is Aaron.
And we are out.